Okay, good evening everyone. Myself Raju Kannam, Assistant Director from NSTA Bangalore. Are you able to hear me? And if you have any doubts, you please post in the chat window, right? Are you able to listen? All of you? Please reply in chat. Okay, fine. Right. Myself Raju Kannam, Assistant Director from NSTA Bangalore. Now today we are going to start with Python programming. So it is from very basic level. That means even the people who don't have the programming knowledge also, they can attend this class, right? And it is interactive session. At any time you can ask the doubts. Okay, so right, fine. I think some people are raising hands. Any issue? Okay, good. Right. So now coming to the introduction of this Python programming. This was developed. This was developed by Guido van Rossum. So this is the person you can able to see here is a person who have started developing the Python in 1980s, right? So but even though he has started in 1980s, beginning of the 1980s, the actual implementation, the people started using it from 1989, right? 1989, and from 1992 it was popular with the 2.x version, Python 2.x version. It was become popular from 1992, but still that time it doesn't have more number of users, because that time other programming languages are leading the world like Java, .NET. Okay, so that's the reason it was not so popular. But again they have come up with 3.x version in 2008. So this includes a lot of features. So this is the updated version of 2.x. So this includes a lot of features, lot of libraries. So where everyone, like the people who are developing the Windows GUI and web page development and some scientific use, all the people, they can able to migrate into the Python easily, because the Python 3.x was provided with a multiple libraries. So more number of libraries. So Python presently from 2008, of course, from 2008, 3.x was introduced. Again, it was continuing, and now currently running version is also 3.x, that is 3.8. Now what we are using, what we are going to use in our demonstration, that is 3.8. Of course, coming to here, this is a interpreted, very high level programming language. So what is this interpreted? So the interpreted means we have the two things, interpreter and compiler. Interpreter and compiler. So what is the difference between the interpreter and compiler? So compiler means generally whatever the programming language you are going to use, so we will write the programs in our own language. But if we give that program directly to the processor, that means your CPU, the CPU is unable to understand that particular program, because that CPU doesn't understand our language. So then what to do? We will use some mediators. That mediators will convert our programs into a machine level language, that is processor understandable language. Okay, so that is called, that mediator is called, of course we'll call it as translator, somebody has given, right? So generally we have commonly for all the programming languages we have the different types of translators, so that will be available in the form of compilers or interpreters. So the compiler is, after writing the program, for example I'm writing 100-line program, okay, after writing the 100-line program I will give it to the compiler. Now for example if I take Java programming language, where before going to execute the program we will write Java C, will write the program name, right? So Java C program name means, so it will compile the program, means compiling means your program will be converted into the machine understandable language by using the Java compiler. So in Java programming language we'll have Java compiler. So that compiler is converting your entire program into machine level language, all the 100 lines at a time, right? So after writing the program we have to feed it to the compiler, then the compiler will convert your entire program, that may be 100 lines or 500 lines or 1000 lines, so it will be converted into machine level language. Now whereas interpreter, one more concept is called interpreter. What is this interpreter will do? So the interpreter, it will not convert entire program, every line by line it will convert. It is having the capability to convert line by line. Now for example after writing one line, that will be converted into machine code immediately, and when we are writing the second line, so second line will be converted. When we are writing the third line, the third line will be converted, right? So it is not like compiler. In compiler case, after writing all the lines, entire program will be converted into the machine level language. But in interpreter, line by line, the moment when you finishes the line, that will be converted into the machine code. That is the difference between the interpreter and compiler. But obviously both the things, both the tools will do same job, that is convert your program into the machine level program. And why it becomes popular, why the Python becomes popular? Because it supports OOPS concepts, OOPS, object oriented programming, right? So where we can create our code in the form of classes, and for a particular class we can create any number of objects. So that means code reusability. This gives the feature of code reusability, right? So due to that it was very popular. Like earlier OOPS, the programming language which will support OOP is C++, Java, or in C#.NET. All these are supporting OOPS concepts. Due to that it becomes more popular, since the code reusability is there. It is a functional, it supports the functional programming. Functional programming means for your particular application you can develop number of functional blocks, right? And you can use those functional blocks like it is a modular pattern. Now I want to make some application, so I will make it as modules. And accordingly I will mix the different modules to get the corresponding output, corresponding outcome, right? So that is this one. Functional. Procedural means switching of your application from one program to another program, different programs. That means it is like a subroutines. One program calls another program calls some other program. That is based on your application requirement. So and logical, structural, of course generally we will see the C language, that is a structural program, structured programming, right? So all these functions, whatever the individual programming language like C, which suppose the structural, OOP, Java, C++, these will suppose the OOPS. So like that, different programming languages, they are having different features. All those features are combined and all those features are supporting by the Python. That's the reason the Python becomes a popular one. Okay, so of course it can be used for general purpose, very comprehensive standard library, includes numeric modules. So number of modules are there to support different areas. Now, if you want to develop the application for some pharmaceutical area, there also we have the corresponding modules to work with the pharmaceutical area. We don't need to worry about developing the libraries. All the libraries are readily developed and it is available for different applications. Crypto services, that means for visualization, OS interfaces. Even we can develop the OS interfaces also, operating system interfaces also. That means with our program we can communicate with operating system services also. So it will be suitable for, we can develop the networking modules also. So to have the control over network, we can develop that. Okay. GUI support, we can develop graphical user interface support. Okay, development tools. So a lot of, even we can write the script files, scripting also we can do. So due to all these features, the Python becomes a very popular language. Okay, so of course this is about a small introduction about the Python, and if you can Google it, we can get a lot of information, right? Of course, we don't need to worry about much. We don't need to worry much about this history and this theoretical part. So now, what are the features generally? What are all the features that the Python is supporting? So it supports. It is, first of all, it is very easy to learn. Even the people who doesn't have the programming background also, they can able to. One minute, Pragati Shukla. Hello, madam. Pragati Shukla, madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, because you raised the hand, na? Okay. Satish Kumar.
Yes, sir.
Any problem?
हेलो
हेलो
सर पहले आवाज नहीं आ रही थी इसलिए
ओके अभी ठीक है ना
ठीक है सर
राइट अर्चना
यस सर
मैडम एनी प्रॉब्लम
नो सर बट सर अगर हिंदी में बोल सकते हो तो प्लीज
ओके ओके मैं अभी थोड़ा एक्चुअल टॉपिक स्टार्ट होता ना डिस्कशन प्रोग्रामिंग उस टाइम हिंदी में भी ट्राई करता ओके
ओके सर थैंक
राइट and hope remaining everything is fine, right? Okay, right. Now first of all, Python, it is easy to learn, right? So that means we even if we don't have any programming knowledge also, we can easily learn the Python programming without any programming knowledge idea also we can learn. So that much flexibility is there in the Python. So it supports quick development due to availability of number of libraries, number of readily available libraries or modules. So we can develop the applications very quickly. So now if you, for example, if you want to do some hacking example, so there are hacking libraries in Python. You can do hacking. We no need to worry about writing the code from the very beginning, like the first line. So even for hacking also libraries are available in Python. Okay, so but it doesn't mean you can hack, right? Okay, so cross platform, it supports cross platform. So this is very important feature here. Cross platform means, now for example, we are writing the programs for Python in our computer or laptop or anything, right? So generally in all our computers are called as x86 architecture. Okay, the general problem with the programming is, now whatever the programs you have written in one particular architecture, that programs are executed in the same architecture. That means if you write the program in some X computer, you can execute the same program in Y computer, no issue, because X and Y both are computers only. Both are computers means both are x86 architecture only. That means both are under same architecture. Now for example, if I write the program in my computer and I'm going to execute that program in some other, like for example in my mobile, I have written program in my computer. but I'm going to execute that program in my mobile. That means in the mobile also we have the processor, but that processor is not x86 processor. Remember that architecture is different, right? So now if you take Java, or if you take any like some other programming languages which doesn't support cross platform, that means now if you take some C program we have written in computer, the same C program we cannot execute in the mobile because there the processor is different architecture, right? So now here the Python, with the Python we don't have such problem because it supports cross platform. You can write the program in one architecture, your PC, the same program can be executed in some other architecture. That is the advantage of Python. So that is called cross platform feature. And the most important thing is we no need to pay single rupee also for downloading the software or for working with this Python software and all. So this is completely open source. So it is embeddable. You can embed different scripts into this. That means you can, it is compatible working with some JavaScript also, or some VB also, VB script also, JSON objects also. So that's the reason it become popular. Large standard library and active community. Okay, so now it covers, it supports any application which it is having the standard library which supports almost all the application, infinite amount of applications, right? And active community is there, and if you like one, a lot of communities are there, so where you will get solution for any technical issues also, useful for wide variety of applications. So due to all these features, so we can use Python for developing any application. Okay, so now this is a little bit like a small introduction about Python, and now we'll move on to the practical portion. That means we will start working with the Python programs we will write. But before going to that, first how to install a Python in our computer, right? So for that you have to visit www.python.org. Okay, so I'll show you. uh, so so this is the website. Okay, this is the website. So if you type python.org, you will be redirected to this page. Okay, so here you have the, I mean you will get everything regarding Python, right? So now if you go down, of course, getting started, how we can work with the Python. So some guide was given here. Start with our beginners guide, and you can download the download the software. Of course I'll show you that. And documents are also available, and jobs, because in community they are keep on posting regularly. So, and latest news regarding the Python developments and upcoming events in the Python. So all these things are there. And here important thing is use for Python. Okay, here down here where the Python will be used. So I'll click here, so it will open complete page, right? So applications of Python. So it can be used in web and internet development. So for that means you can develop any web page, static, dynamic, backend support. Even you can do the backend programming. So framework. So for web development in the Python they have given two frameworks. One is Django and Pyramid. So by using these frameworks you can download. You have okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Okay. Here, right. Fine. Now for web development, these are the things. These are the libraries we are having. Of course, small power cut. Due to power cut, my network was disconnected. So sorry for the inconvenience. Right. Now, so it is these two frameworks are provided by Python for web development. So and it supports HTML. Of course, any web development requires the support of HTML. So it supports HTML, XML. So because the request will be transferred. Of course, the people may be having a software background, that is computer background. They may be having the idea of HTML, XML, all those things, right? So now HTML is the markup language to display the content over the browser, and XML and JSON objects. The request from the client to the server will be transferred in the form of XML as well as JSON objects, right? Of course, email processing, FTP protocol, these protocols will be supported. Even socket programming is also supported by the Python. Even socket programming is also supported by the Python. Hello? Right. Now coming to the this web development, and coming to scientific and numeric. So these are all the, scientific and numeric means, so we'll use for data analysis. Now, for example, presently this COVID-19 crisis is going on. So to get, now recently we got the like a projected picture that so many days we can continue the lockdown, all those things. That means visualization, that we call it as visualization, data visualization. So all those things, data analysis, all those things, even that includes artificial intelligence, machine learning, all will comes under the scientific and numeric development applications. Then education. Of course, Python is superb language for teaching programming. So if you want to start the programming language, if you want to start learning the programming language, then the Python is the best option. It is very understandable language, and even you can develop the desktop GUIs. So I got message from Sayanti Manna. Your voice is breaking. Whether my voice is clear or breaking?
Voice is clear, sir.
Clear, na? Okay. That may be due to their internet problem. Okay. So desktop GUIs, we can develop graphical user interfaces also by using the Python. So for that, these are all the libraries they have provided. And software development, if you want to develop any software, like for example billing software, some for supermarket, if you want to develop some inventory management software, all those things you can use the Python very well. And business applications also, it will be useful. So of course, vast number of applications are there, right? And for the corresponding programs also there, libraries also there. Just you have to download that and make use of it. But for working with all these things, first of all, we should have the idea of basic programming, how we have to do the programming in Python. So if you know the programming knowledge of Python, then easily you can download the corresponding library or module and you can work with. Okay, so now after coming here to download the software, just go to downloads page. If you click on download page, so it will redirect to this particular page. So download the latest version of Python. Okay, so it is for Windows, and now for in my computer I'm having Windows 10. So this is the corresponding compatible version and latest version of for Windows 10, right? So you can download, click on this, it will download your file, and you can similarly you can find for downloading files for Linux, Unix, Mac OS and other operating systems also. Down if you can see now, so here lot of different versions. For example, if you want to work with particular version, that version also you can download. So we have the detailed version of version when it was released, release notes, everything is available here, so you can download that very well. So now I'm downloading here. Downloading is going on. Of course already I'm installed the Python software, but for your sake I'm showing it here, downloading and done. Once it is downloaded, so it is going on, download is going on. Okay, I think I have removed my previously downloaded exe file, so I could not find that. Okay, no issue. So it is just 25 MB file, and you can see here documentation. So different docs you can see here: beginners guide, audio visual docs, developers guide. So all these things you can show here. Now Python 3.x documents I'll show you here. Yeah, what is your doubt, Mr. Mick? You can So here you can see the documents, tutorial, library reference, language reference, all these things you can able to see here. So in the meantime, you can just go through this, so you'll get some idea. And today I'm like, due to power cut, I had some issues, like this network issues. I think tomorrow I'll solve this, because tomorrow I'll come to other place and I'll have the good connectivity there, so we don't have similar kind of issues. Okay, fine. So another 2 MB is there. So it is almost finished. Yes. So now after downloading, okay. So after downloading, this installation is normal installation only, regular installation only. All of you can able to see this. All of you able to see this setup window?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So now it is normal. It is like any Windows software installation. So, but only thing is here, the second option, add Python 3.8 to path. This checkbox you need to tick, right? If you don't check out this box now, of course, software will be installed, but when you start working, it won't work. You have to add path manually. Okay, so to avoid all those issues, you just check this box and click on install now. Click on install now. Of course, it will take to installation, right? But already a software is installed in my computer, so that's the reason I don't want to proceed for installation. Again, this will consume the time. Okay, so now once the software is installed, so I can access. Once the software is installed, you can go to programs, type IDLE, or you can go to command prompt. You can go to command prompt. Everyone able to see this command prompt? Command prompt? No. Okay. So I think I have to share this command prompt, right? Now, I think you are able to see the command prompt now?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now in the command prompt, you have to type Python. Okay. If you type Python, so it will give the version Python 3.8. We have downloaded and installed Python 3.8. So now it is it is giving, right? That means your Python software is installed in your computer. Now ready to work. You are ready to work with Python. But mistakenly while installing, if anyone missed to add the path, for example, somebody has forgot to tick the checkbox which is there, add Python to path. So that manually you can do that. So for doing that, I'll show you how to do the path, how to add the path manually. Okay. So for that, what you have to do is, now here, first of all, I'll find out the path where Python. That means this where command will give where is this Python software is installed in my computer. Okay. So now if I see here, you can see here my Python software was installed here in C drive, users Raju Kannam, user app data local programs Python 3.8. So this is the path which is where the Python software is installed, right? So if you forget to add like in the software, if you forget to add the path, you can do manually. So that manually you can add it by going to my computer. Go to my computer, of course, again. So go to my computer, PC properties, go to advanced system settings. So here you will find one option, environmental variables. Okay. In the environmental variables, see here system variables. Here one variable is there with the name path. So select this and click on edit. Okay, so then here you can add new, you can add your path here, then okay, fine, right? So that means when you should do this, after installation, if you are not getting in command prompt, if you are not getting your Python software in command prompt, now after installing the software, if you type Python, you should get this message here, Python 3.8, so on. So if you don't get this, so that process you have to do manually. So not understand. Shall I repeat once again? Okay, now actually to do the path addition manually, what you have to do is, I'll show you. Okay, now go to this PC. First of all, find out where your Python software is installed. So C drive, users, in Raju Kannam user, you will find, a minute. So app data, local. So here we'll have the Python window called, folder called, okay, pip. Okay, I'll show you this. So this is the path where my Python software is installed. So you just copy. That means programs. Go to programs here. Go to programs. Go to programs. Here Python. So this is the path. This is the path where my software is installed. Python software is installed in my computer. You just copy this. Copy this path. Then what you have to do? Go to settings, my computer. Go to my computer properties. Go to my computer properties. Then advanced system settings. Then environmental variables. Then here path variable is there. Click on edit. Click on new. Then add your, paste your path. Then okay. Okay. So this completes addition of path manually if we don't do automatically while during the installation. So now after that you come to command prompt, and after that command prompt and type Python, you will get your Python shell gets opened here. Okay. Now I hope it is understood. So you want me to repeat the path setting again? Of course, in Java and other softwares, this path setting manually we have to do. We don't have the option, right? But in the Python, the advantage is while installing the application, it will show whether you want to set path automatically or not. Okay. So if you enable that option, automatically path will be set. No need to worry about that. Okay. You want me to repeat? Okay, I'll repeat it. Right. So now for setting the path, what you have to do is, first you should locate your Python folder, Python 3.8 folder. Where is the Python 3.8 folder? In my computer, local disk C, users, Raju Kannam user, app data, local, programs, Python, Python 38. This is my folder path. This is the path where this Python folder was placed. So go to that particular path, just copy the entire path. Then after copying that, what you supposed to do? Go to my computer. Go to my computer, right? Go to my computer. Right click on the computer. That means in Windows 10, that is this PC. Then click on properties. Then go to advanced system settings. Then in that last one, environmental variables, click on this. Then in the system variable, path variable is there. You select path variable, click edit. Don't click on new or don't click on delete. Okay, this variable contains path for all the softwares which are installed in your computer. That means you can work. See, if you open here, so all the paths are added here already, right? So for Chocolatey software, path is added here. For Git, path is added here. For IBM Cloud, path is added here. For .NET, path is added here. So due to that, I can work with any software in my computer. Otherwise, now if you don't add path, you have to go to the corresponding folder and work. Okay, right? Now here, after getting this, click on new and add the, just paste your path, click OK. Then click OK. Click OK. So this completes addition of path. So now is it clear? Addition of path? Or any doubt? Hello? Hello? Is it clear or not?
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay. Right. Now, okay. Now the thing is added here. Now we'll go back to our slides. So here installation is over and the addition of path is also over, right? So now let us go to next one. Of course, already we have discussed this Python is interpreter based programming language. The standard implementation of Python is interpreted. That means the interpreter translates Python code into bytecode, right? And executed, that bytecode will be executed on Python virtual machine. So in Java also we have the JVM, Java virtual machine. So once the code is translated into the bytecode, that means this is our program, it will be converted into the binary code. So this binary code will be executed on the corresponding virtual machine. If it is Java, it will be executed on Java virtual machine. If it is Python, it will be executed in Python virtual machine, right? So then, so interpreter, we have the two modes, right? So here we have the interpreter, right? Python is using interpreter, and here we have two modes. One is normal mode and other one is interactive mode. Okay, so what is this normal mode and interactive mode? Let us see what is this. What is this normal mode and interactive mode? So here, so normal mode means, I'll share the command prompt. Okay. Okay. So normal mode means so clear the screen. Okay. So in the normal mode, we will write our program in one editor, right? So here I will take one editor. I'll do one thing. I'll take one editor. I'll share that editor to you. I'll share the editor now. So I'm taking one editor. Here I'm taking Notepad, right? So notepad, here I'm going to write my program. Print hello world. I'll write some 3 lines of code here. Welcome to Python programming. Okay. So print let's start. Okay, so this is the program I have written in Notepad, and save this program as with any name, but extension should be .py. So I'm saving in OneDrive. So where Python practice. So here intro.py or okay, intro.py. So I'm saving in local disk F, one folder Python practice. In that I'm saving intro.py. Okay, understood? Okay, so this save as so in F drive Python practice, one folder I'm saving Python practice intro.py I have saved. Okay, now we have to execute this particular program. So to execute this particular program, what you have to do is go to command prompt and go to corresponding drive. What is the drive? F drive cd Python practice. So there if you see dir, if you give, so intro.py, this is the program now. So you type Python space and file name intro.py. See here, hello world, welcome to Python programming, let's start. This is printed. Like Java, we will also run Python program in command. Yes, we can run in command prompt also like Java. Okay, so now, so only thing is Python space, you give the file name. So now intro1.py. I have the another file. I have saved this file in 2 times now. So you can see hello world, welcome to Python programming, let's start. Okay, so this way, that means we can write our program and save somewhere, right? And you can execute that program from the command prompt by giving Python space file name, right? So this mode is called normal mode of execution. So let's write our first, like we'll write the program in one file and we'll go to command prompt. For example, so and so place, right? You can give py or Python. You can type full Python, or you can also type py, then file name hello world.py. Okay, your file name. So it will print the thing. This is called normal mode. Normal mode means you can write your program in one editor. You can save that in some folder. You go to that folder and execute it from command prompt by giving py space file name or Python space file name. So this is called normal mode of execution. And another one is, sir, again execution, the saved py file in cmd please. Okay, so I'll repeat again. What you have to do is, now first I'll go to the program. Okay, not this one. I'll open my program. 1 minute. F drive. Okay, now I will share. So this is the program, right? So this is my program. I will open Notepad. I'll write some program here. Then I will give as save as. I will give it as save as. Yes, I'll send the PPT. If you give your mail IDs, I'll send the PPT. Of course, these PPTs are not only for today, because I'm making PPT continuously once everything is done, right? Because daily I'm planning to have class session, daily one session. So I'll send, once it is complete, I'll send it to everyone. Okay, I'll give my email ID also. Right. Now first, let us finish this one. So open your Notepad and type your program. Then after that, go to save as and save with any name, but extension should be .py, right? So once it is saved, already I have saved as intro.py. So once it is saved, what we have to do? We have to go to command prompt. Okay, so now I'm going to command prompt. So now this is my command prompt. Okay, in the command prompt, first you should migrate to your folder where your program is saved. Here in this case, my program I have saved in F drive Python practice folder. I have saved my program, right? So now if you give dir here, so see here, it is there. Intro.py is there here. So it is there in F drive Python practice folder. So you have to migrate to that particular folder. Then type py intro.py. Okay, py space your file name, or you can type Python space file name. What is that? Intro.py. Okay, this will be executed, right? So this is called normal execution. That means entire program we are executing. Okay, entire program we are executing. So I'll give my number. You can send WhatsApp to this number. I'll share the PPTs. Okay. So this is my number. You please note down my number, all of you. Okay, I'll share the PPT and all the stuff. Right. So now hope it is clear till this point. Any doubt? I think it is 5 o'clock. Today's session we have to stop. Tomorrow we'll continue. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Huh? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Right. So now this is the normal mode of execution. Right. So now we'll come back to our PPT. Right. So this is the normal mode of execution. Okay. Then interactive mode. Interactive mode means, so here in the previous case means here, if you open our program, here I have written the 3 lines of program. I don't know if I execute this line, whether I will get output or not. That means whether I have written this line as per syntax or not, I don't know. So for example, if I remove this single quote, definitely it will give the error if I execute the program, right? So when I'll come to know, since here I have written 3 lines. For example, if you have written 100 lines of program here, right? After writing 100 lines, in one line I did one mistake. If you try to execute now, so then you will get error definitely. At so and so place, error is there. You have missed some single quote, like that it will give. It is unrecognized thing like that. So, but you can check in Python. The advantage is, since it is interpreter mode, every line it can execute separately. So you can check the execution of each and every line also. So for that, what you should do is simple thing is just go to command prompt. Now the same program I'm going to execute. So I'm going to command prompt. So I'll clear the screen. So here directly you can type your command. Print. What is our first line? Print hello world. Right. So now if you press enter, this instruction, this line of code will be executed. Sorry, so I did one mistake here. So after coming to the command prompt, you just type Python. You just type Python. It will take you to the Python shell. Python shell. Now you see here it is, so Python 3.8, so and so it has come, and it is, you can able to see here 3 greater than symbols, right? So after that your cursor is blinking. Here you have to write, you supposed to write your code. So I'm writing here print hello world. Okay, if I press enter, so hello world will be printed. That means this instruction, this line of code is executed, and it is, the answer for that is printed. Okay, so that means it is interactive. After completing one line, you are getting the result of that line. And I'll write the second line, print. What is our second line? Welcome to Python, right? So it will be printed. So then you can write your third line. Let's start. So this will be printed. So that means every line you can execute and see. Either if you want every line you can execute and see, or if you want entire program execution, that will also be done. So the two options are there here. We have the two options. The two options are normal mode and interactive mode. So normal mode means entire program we will write and we'll go to command prompt and execute. Okay. And in the interactive mode, just type Python. It will redirect to Python shell. So in the Python shell, if you write print hello world, you will get hello world. Hello string, hello world. That means one variable we are storing. Of course, these things we will discuss, right, in coming sessions. Okay. So these are the two ways we can execute the program, right? And of course, this may be difficult for some people. That is, in the sense, in Java also we'll do same thing, because we'll open the notepad, we'll write the program, again go to command prompt, open the corresponding folder, then execute the program. That is, again, it is difficult, right? So that's the reason the Python is already inbuilt. It has given one IDE, that is integrated development environment. So this will come with Python software. Once you install the Python, so this will come as a default. Sir, if we write a program in normal mode and did a mistake in writing, when we run the same, the command recognize the error. Yes, we can recognize. Okay. So, but now I'm explaining. I'll show you that error, how it will be, error will be recognized, which line error is there, how we can get the notification, all those things I'll show you. I'll explain that with IDE, integrated development environment, so that it will be easy. Okay. So right now, just go to IDLE, type IDLE, we'll get Python IDLE. Just open this. Just open this. Sorry, I have to share this now. Now I'll share IDLE Python shell. So this is the Python shell, Python 3.8.0 shell. Okay, all of you able to see this Python shell? So this is the default thing, default IDE which is provided in the along with the Python software. Yes, I'll give PPT. Don't worry, I'll give PPT. Whatever the programs I'm explaining, all the programs also I can give you, but not at this point of time, because the PPT still I'm doing, right? Once the complete PPT is ready, I will share with you. Okay. In the meantime, I have given my number. You just save that number, send the WhatsApp message, that your email ID, all PPTs, all the stuff I'll share with you. Right. Now here, this is the Python shell. You can see here, you can readily execute here also. This Python shell is like a command prompt. Okay. Now in the command prompt, what we did? So in the command prompt, what we did here? So this is the command prompt now. So before executing the program, now in the command prompt, if you want to execute the program, what you have to do? First, you have to go to the folder where your program is saved. After going there, then type Python. It will take you to Python executable environment. There you supposed to write the program, right? So, but all these things, all this stuff will take time, and some people may feel it as difficult, right? So to avoid that, to make it further simple, they have given Python integrated development environment. Okay, so that you will get once the Python software is installed, you will get that. So this is the Python IDLE, Python IDLE. So here also directly, here you no need to go for any folder or where your program is saved. No need to worry about that. Okay, simply you type your commands here. Welcome. So it will be printed here, and it is colorful also. Okay, print to Python. Okay. Okay, right. So here this is interactive mode of execution. Interactive mode of execution by using the Python shell. Okay, now I want to execute entire program. Entire program. I want to write the program in one file. I want to execute that. So for that, go to file. The Python shell file option is file menu is there. Go to file, click on new file. Here you type print. Here you type your program. Print hello world.
Please change the screen, sir.
Oh, sorry. So print. So if you click on new file, it will open this. Print hello world. Then print welcome to Python. Print. Let's start. Okay. Then after typing that, you save with some extension, that is p.py extension. You can save anywhere. So always I'm saving the programs here in Python practice. So here I am saving it as py shell1.py. So the name of the program is py shell1. Okay. Then just go to run and click on run module. Okay, click on run module. So it will be executed in the Python shell. I'll share that Python shell. Now it will be executed here. So see here, hello world, welcome to Python. Let's start. So the advantage of this Python shell is like command prompt, no need to migrate to that particular folder and type Python, give the file name. All those things are not required. Here it is very simple. Just go to file of the Python shell, click on new file. It will open the new file. It will open the new file. There you write the program, save the program, then click on run module. Okay. So when you click on run module, it will be, this program will be executed in the Python shell. The output will be shown here. Okay. Any doubts? Sir, I did not understand. Please explain, sir. Okay. So what Python shell you want, right? Okay. So again, you want to explain Python shell, right? Right. So I'll minimize everything. Oh. So now here, I'll go to basic setup, my computer. Are you able to see this? Are you able to see start window?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll copy that ideally, create ideally shortcut. I'll create on desktop. Sir Herman, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, is it not possible to share the desktop like a program settings?
I think you just try this, sir. I have not tried that.
Okay, okay. So actually the thing is, this ideally shortcut was not created. When I am opening here, it is not visible there for you.
Please take a screenshot and paste it in one of the.
Okay, okay,
window.
okay. That's good. I'll do that. I'll take screenshot. Yeah, you can see here. I've taken screenshot. So if you click in programs, if you type IDLE, you will get IDLE Python 3.8. You just click on this. You just click on this. If you click on this, it will be redirected to Python shell. So this Python shell will be opened. This Python shell will be opened, right? Are you able to see a Python shell, all of you? Image blurred, screen is blurred. Okay, yes, okay. So I hope everyone is seeing this, right? So this is the Python shell. So it is act like a command prompt. How we have executed in our command prompt, both in normal mode and interactive mode. So in both ways, we can also execute here, right? So for that, what you have to do? So first, interactive mode. Interactive mode means after typing every line, you will get the output, right? So I'm typing here one line of program, print. You can type hello. Okay. So then enter, you will get the output here. So this is your interactive mode. Okay. And similarly, you can execute in normal mode. Normal mode means entire program execution, right? Entire program execution. Screen is not clear. Okay, that may be due to your internet problem. Okay. Then another one is normal mode. For normal mode, you go to file. So in Python shell, file menu is there. No need to have notepad also. So inbuilt one ID is given along with the Python software. Okay, I'll share again once again. Okay, this is a Python shell. Now you're able to see. Hello. So no.
Yes, partially. It's visible.
Yeah, it is visible now. Okay, so maybe internet issue. Visible but not clear. It's blur. Okay. Okay, we'll do one thing. Hello, Herman sir.
Yes, sir. Please.
So shall we stop now? So that tomorrow we can take extra hour, because some internet issue also there, na? So tomorrow I'll go to office and do that.
Actually, today there was the second class was cancelled. That's why we had the opportunity of extending it.
Okay. Then now are you able to see the screen? Visible but not clear, right? Okay, no. Some people yes, some people no. Okay. WhatsApp number, please. Okay, that number I will give you. Now please acknowledge me whether this screen is clear or not. Explain tomorrow, sir. Okay, can you please continue this class tomorrow? Okay, anyhow, tomorrow I will revise this. I'll do the revision also. But since time is there today, I want to continue it. So another 15-20 minutes. Okay, now I will continue. Of course, tomorrow also I will revise this. And if any people get problem, if they are not understood, means tomorrow you can again I will do the revision. Okay, right. Now, so this is interactive mode, right? So interactive mode means if I type something here, if I type a equal to 10, right? That means 10 will be stored in the a, 10 will be stored in the a, and if I print a, the a value will be printed here. A value will be printed here. Okay. Sir, Edmund sir, screen is blur. It is not clear. Edmund sir. Okay.
You remove the Zoom dialog box in your screen, sir.
Zoom dialog box. Sir.
Then everyone can see that. Yeah, now it is visible.
Now it is it visible?
Yes, sir. No dialog box should appear in your screen.
Okay. So that is the problem. Huh? Okay, fine. Now everyone able to see here? Okay. So now interactive mode means the moment when I type something here, I will get the output. So print A. So I'm getting the A value. Already I have assigned the 10 to the A and I'm printing A, I'm getting here. This is interactive mode, right? So then if I want to execute any program in normal mode means I have to type the program, because I need to have some editor where I can type the program. So that editor also you will get along with this shell. For that you have to go to file menu, click on new file, right? So after click on new file, this will be opened. So here you can type your program. So I'm typing a equal to 10, b equal to 20, c equal to a plus b, print c. Or all right, addition of 10 and 20 is so I'll explain this afterwards. No need to worry about this. So how we have to write this, I'll explain that. But here now our intention is how to execute the program, right? So after writing the program, go to save option, then save the program. So you can save anywhere. So here 123.py, I'm saving it as 123.py. Okay, save it as, now I have saved it as 123.py. Then after saving, go to run and click on run module. So if you click on this, the program will be executed in the Python shell. So I'm clicking on this and share the Python shell. Of course some error is there. I think somebody has asked some error, how we can get the error. Okay, so here I forgot to add one more this thing. You go to here. So here format of which value we want to print, C, right? So again save and click on run. Okay, so then now click on go to shell. See here, addition of 10 and 20 is 30. So that will be printed. This is the normal mode of execution. Of course, these two things we have seen in command prompt, and now we are seeing in Python shell, right? Python shell. Any doubts? I hope it is clear. Python shell notepad need open over. Of course, that is editor is notepad. Default editor is notepad only, na? So that all these notepad plus this Eclipse, all these things are IDEs, like editors, right? Now this is Python shell. This IDLE, integrated development environment, will provide some editor for writing the program, na? So that editor will be notepad here. Notepad with options of run. Now in the normal notepad you may not get this run option. If you see in the normal notepad, you won't get this run option, run module option. This is notepad with some features of IDE. So after saving, what to do, right? So after saving, just go to run, click on run module. Go to run and click on run module. If we click this entire program is executed in the Python shell. So click on run. So now the program is executed in the Python shell. See here, program is executed in the Python shell, right? Okay, so you want to unmute. Who is that? Bhuvana Agarwal. Okay, madam.
गुड इवनिंग सर.
गुड इवनिंग मैडम.
सर ये नॉर्मल नोटपैड में तो नहीं होता है ना रन वाला ऑप्शन?
नोटपैड में रन वाला ऑप्शन नहीं रहता.
ये कहाँ से आएगा सर?
एक आई मीन ए प्रोग्राम एडिटर है। आप प्रोग्राम एडिटर के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं मैडम?
सर ये रन रन जो मेन्यू बार पे रन आ रहा है ना, हमें ये
हाँ,
पूछना है
ओके
ये कैसे
ओके।
आएगा?
सो एक्चुअली आप इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट एनवायरनमेंट ओपन करना फर्स्ट पाइथन का। सो
वो
पाइथन
कैसे
सॉफ्टवेयर
होगा सर? वो कैसे होगा? वो कहाँ से होगा सर?
जनरली मैं आपको स्क्रीनशॉट दिखाता आपको, एक मिनट। अभी देखो
सर
इधर
जब आप
मैडम,
ये वाली स्क्रीन ओपन करते हैं ये
अभी ये
blur
देखो मैडम, अभी ठीक है?
सर नहीं समझ आ रहा है सर, ब्लर आ रही है स्क्रीन।
ब्लर रह रहा है?
जी सर।
ओके, मे बी थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा।
सर आप मैनुअली बोल के बता दीजिए स्टेप्स।
अभी देखो मैडम।
नहीं सर ये
तो
ब्लर्ड है।
जनरली आप प्रोग्राम्स में जाके उधर आईडीएलई टाइप करना मैडम, प्रोग्राम्स में। विंडोज प्रोग्राम्स है ना?
जी सर।
हेलो, विंडोज प्रोग्राम में जाके आईडीएलई टाइप करना, आपको ओपन होता। आईडीएलई में एलई पे क्लिक करना।
प्रोग्राम सर
आईडीएलई इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट एनवायरनमेंट, विंडोज प्रोग्राम्स में आईडीएलई टाइप करना।
इंटीग्रेटेड डेवलपमेंट एनवायरनमेंट आईडीई
टाइप करे तो आपको आईडीएलई सिंबल दिखाता, पाइथन सिंबल रहता, वो ओपन करना।
ओके सर।
एनवायरनमेंट, हाँ ऑफ कोर्स आईडीई दैट इज, ये पाइथन में उसका नाम आईडीएलई ऐसा डिफरेंट है थोड़ा बस। डीएल मींस डेवलपमेंट। ओके सो
सर 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 विंडोज प्रोग्राम्स में जाके आईडीएलई टाइप करना है ना सर?
आईडीएलई टाइप करना।
देन पाइथन देन
सो देन आपको लिस्ट में आईडीएलई आइकन आता, राइट?
ओके सर।
वो आइकन पे क्लिक करना।
ओके सर।
क्लिक करे तो आपको एक पाइथन शेल ओपन होता।
ओके सर।
ये ओपन होता आपको, इसमें क्लिक करे तो ये ओपन होता। ओके
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
अभी फाइल में लिखने, प्रोग्राम लिखने के लिए फाइल को जाके न्यू फाइल में जाके इधर लिख सकता। न्यू फाइल में क्लिक करे तो ये फाइल ओपन होता। इधर आप प्रोग्राम लिख के सेव करना। फाइल में जाके सेव करके एक्सटेंशन शुड बी .py1, देन रन करना। रन में जाके रन ಮಾಡಿ। देन वो किधर रन होता? शेल में रन होता। देखो इधर हाई आ गया। ओके प्लीज सर, स्मॉल डाउट। ओके IDLE means integrated development environment. Integrated development environment, IDLE. Okay, I'll unmute 1 minute. हेलो, हाँ सर बोलिए सर। हेलो हेलो सर, योर वॉइस इज वेरी लो।
सर हेलो हेलो हेलो।
हाँ हेलो, हाँ सर बोलिए सर। हेलो sir, otherwise you can post your doubt in chat window. Tomorrow's class is 5 to 6 p.m. Tomorrow's class is 5 to 6 p.m. Sir, you please post your doubt in a chat window, sir. I'm unable to hear your voice.
I get unexpected EOF error. EOF error.
Sir, what error? You have to run it in normal mode or anything. Generally, actually, I have explained. I have shown both interactive mode and normal mode. So normally, what we'll write? We'll write program in one editor. We will save it and we'll execute. That's all. So always we'll use normal mode only. Always we'll use normal mode only. We'll write the programs. Now from here after, we will write the programs in our shell only. Python shell only. That's the reason I'm explaining this, because always writing programs in command prompt, that is little bit confusing, right? We will use the integrated development environment given by the Python. So my number 9848007337. So this is my WhatsApp number also. And if you have anything, like, please share your email ID so that I can send this PPT also. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Somebody is asking doubt, but I could not hear him.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Tell me, sir.
Sir, when I press run.
Okay, run.
That time
Okay.
I get unexpected EOF error while pressing.
Sir, can you please type your doubt in chat window?
Yes, sir. I typed it.
End of file. Unexpected end of file error maybe.
Yes, sir.
Can you please share the screen, sir?
How to do it, sir? How to do it?
Sir, Herman, sir, can you give the screen sharing option to him? This make.
Just a minute. He can share it now.
Now you can share, sir.
Sir, how to do it?
Click on the share button.
So there share option is there, na? Share.
Sir, yeah. Okay, I got it, sir. Sir, are you getting? Sir? Hello?
Yes.
Sir. Sir, tell me, sir.
Now I go for not. Sir, hello.
Okay, don't get confused. Actually, interactive mode and normal mode. Just since we can execute programs in two ways that I have explained here. That's all. But don't keep in mind that interactive mode something or normal mode. We have to focus on our programming. That's all. Always we will prefer normal mode only. Okay, that means we'll open editor, we'll write the program, we'll save it, and we'll execute by clicking on run button. That's all.
Okay, sir. What?
Since two possibilities are there, I've shown here. That's all. Okay. Sir. Hello.
What's the problem here, sir? I'm getting EOF error.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, tell me, sir.
Yes, sir. I shared it to sir. See,
Once again. This one, okay,
yes.
okay, 1 minute. So see here, addition of 10 and 20 is, so, okay, colon, dot format,
Yeah,
bracket, C, you type and close the brackets.
dot format.
You're not finished the line. Dot format,
Sir, is
format.
Format.
No, not there. Is,
yes, sir.
open and close the bracket,
Any or
open and close the
flower
bracket.
Flower bracket or the bracket or any.
No, flower bracket. Flower bracket.
Yeah.
Not this flower bracket. No, that is okay.
Yeah.
Then close the single quote. Close it with single quote.
Okay.
Dot
Dot
format.
Caps, no, sir. Caps.
Open normal bracket. Normal bracket. Normal bracket.
Yes, sir.
C. We want to display C, na? C.
Yes, sir.
C. Close the bracket. C. That's all. Close the bracket.
Yeah.
Again close the print function. Again close the bracket.
Okay, close.
No, close the bracket. One more closing. One more closing is required.
Yes, that does it.
Print function also you have to close, na?
Yes, sir. Close. Close it. Close.
Okay. Now you run it. You will get it. That's all. Save and run.
Yes, sir. I saved it.
Hmm.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Save and run.
Yes, sir. Save.
Okay. Run it.
Yes, sir. I got it. Got it. Hello.
Pragati, madam, any doubt?
No,
Okay.
sir.
You got it, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. I got it. Yeah. I'm getting addition of 10 and 20.
Yeah, madam. Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Can I get your number? Your number, please.
Yeah, I posted here, na? 9848
9848
00 7337.
Thank you.
Pooja Paliwal. Okay. मैडम पूजा मैडम टेल मी मैडम
सर जो आपने प्रिंट वाला भी जो लाइन लिखवाया था हेलो
ओके हाँ मैडम बोलिए
आपने सिंगल कोड में एडिशन ऑफ वो डबल कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स क्यों यूज करवाया उसमें विदाउट उसके आंसर नहीं आएगा क्या हेलो
नो आपको वो बाद में एक्सप्लेन करेंगे नेक्स्ट कमिंग स्लाइड्स में प्रिंट फंक्शन एक्सप्लेन करता आपको सो उसमें स्ट्रिंग प्लस सम इंटीजर वैल्यू कैसा डिस्प्ले करना उधर एक्सप्लेन करता मैं। अभी हमारा इंटेंशन इधर कैसा एक पूरा प्रोग्राम कैसे एग्जीक्यूट करना, उसके लिए दिखा है ना अभी। वो किधर है प्रोग्राम? प्रोग्राम शेयर करते हैं, एक मिनट में।
ओके सर।
This one. All right. So here, abhi a print function generally it will display any string, whatever the information mentioned in the single quote, it will be displayed. But इसमें क्या कर रहे हैं हम, ये पर्टिकुलर एप्लीकेशन में स्ट्रिंग एडिशन ऑफ 10 and 20 is प्लस इधर नंबर भी डिस्प्ले करना मैं, ओके, नंबर भी डिस्प्ले करना चाहता। उसके लिए ए फ्लावर ब्रैकेट यूज किया, फॉर ब्रैकेट यूज करके इधर फॉर्मेट सी ऐसा लिखना, और नहीं तो आप डायरेक्टली ऐसा भी लिख सकता, ऐसे भी लिख सकता।
ओके,
एक मिनट से आपको रिजल्ट शेयर करता। चल, so of course is 30. Okay. So but ये आपको I mean maybe next class में प्रिंट फंक्शन डिस्कस करेंगे। उधर एक स्ट्रिंग प्लस नंबर एक ही स्टेटमेंट में कैसा डिस्प्ले करना वो सभी डिस्कस करेंगे, उस टाइम आपको क्लियर होता।
यस सर, थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है ना मैडम?
यस सर, थैंक यू।
ओके मैडम,
थैंक यू सर।
okay. Now the screen is clear, is interactive mode and ideally are same. Of course, ideally and CMD. Of course, ideally it is the platform where we can write the programs. Right? They made writing and execution of programs is very simpler. For that, they have given one platform. That platform name is IDLE. So there you can execute entire program at a time. That is called normal mode, or line by line, that is called interactive mode. Both we can do in the IDLE. Understood, sir? Swagat Nanda. Okay, some more hand raise are there. प्रगति शुक्ला।
यस सर।
हाँ मैडम, बोलिए मैडम।
सर आई हैव नो डाउट।
नो डाउट। ओके ओके, थैंक यू। Sayanti, unmute yourself. I could not make it. Beauty Kumari. No doubt, madam. Okay. बबीता। हाँ बबीता मैडम, बोलिए। बबीता मैडम, एनी डाउट? Okay, I think Hermans are posted here tomorrow's class. Sir, Herman sir, tomorrow I think 5 to 6, na? You told 5 to 6, sir.
It's mentioned as 4 to 5, sir.
I
will check up, sir.
Because you told 4 to 5 start is not available. I made it as 5 to 6 you told.
I'll check up.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Tomorrow 5 to 6.
Yes, sir. So all of you please note tomorrow class is 5 to 6.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubts? Julie Singh. मैडम बोलिए मैडम जूली सिंह.
हेलो
हेलो मैडम.
हेलो हाँ जी सर गुड इवनिंग.
हाँ मैडम बोलिए मैडम. हाँ गुड इवनिंग मैडम.
सर मुझे अपनी वो मतलब ये मेल आईडी में मेरी आप पीपीटी सेंड कर देंगे.
हाँ सेंड करेंगे मैडम बट अभी
Okay, sir.
एक्चुअली हाँ सेंड करेंगे मैडम. अभी सेंड करेंगे. अभी तक क्या आई मीन कितना टॉपिक्स हो गया उसका पीपीटी सेंड करेंगे. नो प्रॉब्लम. और नहीं तो आपको वेट करना आप 1 वीक वेट करें तो पूरा पीपीटी सेंड करेंगे पाइथन का.
Sir, overall complete the PPT then send all students.
हाँ that is better. That is better.
ओके सर.
So once it is completed, because I'm making PPT, so once it is completed, I'll send to everyone. Any other doubts? Sayanti, tell me, Sayanti. Madam Annapurna, madam. Annapurna, madam.
Sir, I have no doubt. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
मैडम टेल मी मैडम. आप बोला ना ऑन करो.
No doubt, sir.
नो डाउट. ओके.
No, sir.
ओके थैंक यू.
Hello, sir.
सायंती.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, in here you use a notepad, but can I use notepad plus NetBeans like that?
You can use any editor. See, there is no restriction on any programming language, right? You can use any editor, but only thing is you have to save the file with corresponding extension. You can use Notepad for Java programming, .NET programming, JavaScript programming, this Python programming, any programming. But only thing is while saving, you have to do with corresponding extension.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Or any other doubts? So installation procedure, right? Okay. After downloading the exe file, you just double click on the exe file. I'll show you here. 1 minute. Okay. So are you able to see your exe file? Just open this file. Click on yes. Okay. So this is your installation window, right? And here the option is, second option is there. First option by default it is checked. The second option, add Python 3.8 to path. This you have to check it and click on install. That's all. It will be installed. Whether it is clear, sir? Ganesh.